It's said that in order to keep fit, you should do something every day that takes you out of breath for 15 minutes. Some people like to go for a run or pay for an expensive gym membership maybe. But some of us, we're living in the future. That's where Sportvida Cyberdash comes in, a new game available for MetaQuest now that is designed to help you with your workouts. Exercising in VR is nothing new. There are tons of applications that are either designed to help you exercise, like FitXR or BoxXR or numerous other ones. And then there's others that are games that coincidentally help you work out, such as Thrill of the Fight. Or even something like Beat Saber or Synth Riders. They always get you active. Being active in VR is a great way to help you exercise, to help you work out and engage your muscles and your body, and maybe get out of breath or get a bit hot and sweaty at times, in order to, to keep you interested in the idea of that exercise. And Sportvida Cyberdash is a game designed around the idea of getting you to work out more. It's pretty simple stuff. At first, you'll be waving your arms to simulate running, much like Sprint Vector way back in the day, for those of you who remember that Servius game. And more recently, games like Gorilla Tag, where movement is all done through the motion of your arms. But in Sportvida, it's not a simple case of strolling along. You must put effort in. There's 2 modes to your movement in Sportvida Cyberdash, but even the lenient mode, as they call it, it doesn't so much take into account the waving of your arms side to side, but it does still require you to put some effort into that movement to build up your pace. Building up your pace is displayed by a meter at the bottom of the screen, and as this meter fills, while you're continually waving your arms to move, you'll increase your speed, and eventually the meter will increase to a point where you can glide, which means maintaining the pace that you've built without waving your arms. While you're doing this, however, there are a number of different obstacles that appear on each of the courses. Some of them are little balls that you're supposed to put the left or right hand to, coloured, coordinated, in order to smash them as you go through, kind of similar to Synth Riders. Others are blocks that you must slash with laser swords, similar to Beat Saber. There's a lot of inspiration from a lot of other very popular VR games in here, and that's not a bad thing. The Sportvida Cyberdash's appeal is based around gamifying your workout, and as such, taking inspiration from some of the more popular games is never going to hurt. What does hurt, however, is sometimes these blocks, it's hard to decipher which ones you're supposed to be doing. Some are punch, some are slash, some are ram, which basically just means run through them. And some of them are obstacles that you must avoid. The ones that you must avoid, they're generally walls, so you can interpret that pretty easily. But the punch, slash, ram ones, I think a little more colour distinction would help with that. The level design is, if you think of like a Rainbow Road track from Mario Kart, not as colourful, but that kind of ethereal pathway in a distant space, blackness kind of thing, that's what you've got here. And you move through it by pivoting your body. You must turn in order to go around the corners. Now it starts with very gentle corners, just turning slightly as you're waggling your arms to run, and you'll navigate around the track, the winding road. But I often found when I was playing that the movement from side to side on the track wasn't exactly accurate. It did often start pivoting me to the left, even when I was clearly angling my body to the right, which of course doesn't really help when you're trying to avoid blocks in shape of walls. And this is moving your body. It's not a simple case of I can turn my head and move that direction. You won't get the momentum. You do need to physically move your body in order to go down the correct pathway. As you're sprinting down these tracks, waving your arms and trying to hit blocks or slash blocks or whatever the objective may be, you'll also have time gates on the level. And these time gates, kind of a similar concept to Outrun or other racing games of that ilk, and you must approach them within a time limit, and should you achieve that, then you get more time extended to reach the next one. If you fail, it is a bit lenient. It does give you a second window which you can run through that gate. However, you cannot have multiple windows in a run, multiple extensions in a run. You must make sure that if I fail this one and the next one, the third one, I've got to hit that, or you'll fail the course. Of course, Sportvida Cyberdash does come with all the usual kind of leaderboards and stat trackers and helping you manage your workout. And it is going to get you sweaty. It is going to make you feel like you have had some exercise and a workout in these kind of applications, be it on mobile or on VR. The calorie count and things like that, they're never entirely accurate, but it is a good barometer for your progress. You wake up one morning, do a quick 3-minute workout, you've burnt 100 calories, and the next morning you're going to try and do 120. The next morning you do 150, and you'll build up slowly over time. And Sportvida Cyberdash does have good metrics for you in order to monitor this, in order to make sure that you know how you are performing, how you are engaged. So it is, as I've said, about gamifying that workout. You are playing a game, you are trying to complete these objectives and beat high scores and whatever else, but at the same time, it is tracking your progress and it is giving you good feedback. Maybe not perfect, but good feedback on how you're performing in terms of exercise. The menu system and the UI is constructed in a very clever way. It does make it feel like Beat Saber or Symphony, which we recently reviewed up here. And it does make it feel like you are progressing and unlocking new things as you go, making the game more interesting, keeping you coming back, despite the fact that you might be quite tired at the end of your runs. There's also a ranking system for how you perform in each level, and sadly, I struggle to perform particularly well. Now, I'm not the fittest guy on the planet, and I'm not particularly young, but I'm also, I'm not terrible. So I certainly am going to have to put much more effort in order to get my rank up on these levels. So Sportvida Cyberdash, it's not anything particularly original, but it is a good combination of the games that have inspired it, and it definitely will make you feel like you've had a workout. If you're looking for some kind of new exercising experience in VR, this one's definitely worth a look. The game launched in early access last year and has been continually updated since then. And now we're at full release. The studio has taken on board a lot of feedback to make this game compelling. To make it compelling to get sweaty and do your workout. And they've been successful. Sportvida Cyberdash is available for MetaQuest headsets now, and it is an interesting and compelling workout experience in VR. We recommend you go and check this one out.